This highway runs north-south between Toronto and Collingwood, Ontario. I've traveled it many times myself and, like most other people, couldn't help but notice all these beautiful pickup trucks and wonder, what's it all about? Well, we're here to find out. It's a lot of work.
It takes a long time.
This story began in the 50s when Fred Lewis began a feed and supply business in Pickering, Ontario. He sold Honda motorcycles, washing machines, hardware, livestock feed, and Ford equipment and tractors. Then in 1975, the Trudeau government decided Pickering was a good place for an airport and began expropriating land that included Fred's business.
Well, as the auctioneer told, I asked him the night before what I was to do, and he said, "Oh, you'll laugh a little and you'll cry a little, and it'll come automatically," and so it did. There was 3 full-time auction rings. They started about 8:30 in the morning and run till about 9:30 at night. There was over 500 bidders. It was the biggest sale in history in that area.
The airport was never built, and it took 10 years and over $80,000 in legal fees before Fred received any money for his property. Fred, who was nearing his 75th birthday, is not one to sit still, so he began restoring used Ford tractors. And 15 years ago, the tractors were joined by Ford pickup trucks.
Well, they're all from the West. We attempted one Ontario truck several years ago, and it was a lost cause. They're so rusted. There's nothing wrong with Ontario. It's just the salt we use that causes the problem. They were so rusted that we patch, and when we're through, we have nothing to be proud of because we know the patches that are under the paint. So we'll get them all from the West where they didn't use salt. They're using a little bit now, but these trucks were retired before they started using salt. So it's just unbelievable. There's just no rust. I aim for 48 to 52. I just love those models. I have 2 or 3 or 4 53s, and I think I have a 56 out there yet. Well, it's a V8, Ford famous V8 flathead, very simple motor, 239 cubic inch. I think they were rated at 100 horsepower. I'm not sure how it's measured, but that's what the books say. The engines are mostly seized because they've set for quite a while, so we have to strip them right down, including taking the engine out, and we send it away and have it factory rebuilt. The tractors, those are good usable tractors that did come off probably 100-acre farms, but now there's very few 100-acre farms. Most of the farms have gone big, 2 and 3 and 5,000. So those tractors are not, I never sell to a farmer anymore. They are retired off the farm, but they're sold to doctors, lawyers, dentists, and undertakers, and playboys who come out of the big cities and buy a bit of country Canada, and they want a tractor. I'm not trying to do a commercial for Ford, but I think they're the most popular used or new truck in the world. They really have proven to be a real solid truck. And the very first truck I owned was a 1948 pickup. So I have a lot of respect and a lot of admiration for this model of truck.
On his many trips out west, Fred Lewis recently picked up this 1948 fire engine in La Riviere in southern Manitoba, population about 200. Now, the mileage on this, and get ready for this, 4,672 original miles. Why so low? Well, Fred asked the owner. He said, well, with a population of 200, if there was a fire more than 5 miles out of town, they stayed in the fire hall.
If you consider Motoring TV's been on the air for 30+ years, there's no doubt you've missed a few episodes. Well, there's a couple of ways you can catch up and make sure you don't miss anything. First, you can go to YouTube and look up just segments or complete shows. Also, if you want to know what we're doing, like today on a daily basis, just go to our Facebook page. And also, you can go to motoringtvshop.com, get some cool swag. Oh, there's also that Instagram thing.